Hello everyone, my name is Vivo and I am here with the Asian Media Network celebrating the Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. What I have here with me is beautiful Miss Marie Cunning. She is the president of the FPACC, which is the Federation of the Philippines American Chambers of Commerce. Also, you are the chairman of the Asian American Republican Coalition, right?
Correct. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
We're so honored to have you. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
The other national organization, I'm the board of trustees for the NAFA, for the National Federation of Filipino American Organizations. Actually, in the United States, there are only 3 organizations, and I'm president of 1 national organization. And last year, during the pandemic, I was also the district governor for Arizona District 21.
Wow, that's so impressive. All these
And I'm a serial entrepreneur. I own and operate 4 businesses, including a construction company.
Oh, awesome. And I heard you also do some carpeting work too, right?
I own a couple of flooring stores. We sell floors, cabinets, countertops, and doors.
That's awesome.
Thank
well,
you.
I know who to hit up.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so let's start off by talking about the Filipino culture. Let's starting off by talking about how did you guys immigrate here to the U.S. As well as Arizona?
The first Filipinos landed in Morro Bay in October 18 of 1587 as part of the they're Philippine sailors brought by the galleon trade. Are you familiar with the galleon trade? You know, the spice trade between Spain, Mexico, and the Philippines. And so they landed in 1587, and in the early part of the 18th century, the first Filipinos settled in Louisiana and Northern California.
Wow.
And by the latter part of the 18th century, we have the first Filipino naturalized citizen.
Oh my goodness. That's so interesting. So when did your family
And in
first...
Arizona, I think the first documented Filipino settlers were in the 1930s.
So quite a while ago.
Uh-huh.
So you guys have a large population here in the U.S. I think the second, right, in the U.S.?
We're the second largest community in the United States with
Yeah.
4.4 million people, second only to the Chinese.
Okay, and largest in Arizona, right?
We're the largest in
Okay.
Arizona with close to 70,000.
Wow. And where do you guys live in Arizona?
Most of the Filipinos are, demographically, most of us are in the west side. However, there's a lot that are settling now here in the East Valley. So this is getting popular, especially with Jollibee moving.
Excited to hear that
Yes.
Jollibee is moving here. So let's bring it back to, talk about your family. When did you and your family first move here?
I migrated here in 1983. My parents, they just come and visit. They don't really like it here. My grandfather, who was a senator when he was done, being in the Philippine government, he moved here and he had a house in McLean, Virginia and San Francisco. So we used to visit him in the summer. And my mom said when I was 7, I looked up at her. We were visiting my aunt in San Diego. And I looked at my mom and I said, when I grow up, I'm going to live here in the United States. I ended up marrying an American and moving here in 1983.
That's awesome. So you love it here?
Yes,
I'm
I
assuming.
do. My parents didn't want to migrate here, though. They like the slower lifestyle in the Philippines, and they like being around, the drivers and the maids and the cooks. She didn't want to give up that lifestyle.
Yeah, that's a
move
nice
over
life.
there. Yes.
So speaking of, talking with your parents, is there like a certain dialect that you use with your parents, or do you guys just speak English?
Actually, the Philippines has 111 dialects.
Wow.
However, at school we are taught only the national language. So in the Philippines, the medium of instruction is actually English. English is our second language. So a lot of the majority of the population speak English as their second language.
Yeah.
But I never really learned a dialect. I always spoke just the national language. My mom speaks a dialect. She speaks Ilongga because she's from that part of the country. But I never did.
So the national language is Tagalog.
Tagalog,
Okay.
yes.
Can you teach us a few words in Tagalog? Something easy for us to showcase.
Maganda ka,
Maganda ka.
which means you're beautiful.
Oh, Oh, thank you. Maganda ka. How do you say like I love you or hello?
Mahal kita.
Mahal kita.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Is I love you?
Is I love you.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll be utilizing that a lot.
Hello, usually we say kamusta ka, which means how are you.
Oh, okay. Such a beautiful language.
I love it.
Yeah. And now let's talk about the flag. You know, I know there's different colors like the blue, red, there's white, there's yellow. Can you tell us a little bit more about the symbol and representation of the flag?
It's a rectangular shape, and the white equilateral triangle stands for equality, liberty, and fraternity. And then the blue stripe, which in times of peace is on the top, stands for peace, justice, and truth. Wow. And the red, which in times of war is on the top side, stands for valor and patriotism. Oh. And then you have the 3 stars on each side of the triangle. That stands for the 3 major regions that stood up first during the revolution, which is Luzon, Mindanao, and Panay.
Wow.
And then the yellow sun in the middle of the triangle has the 8 rays, which stands for the 8 provinces that stood up against Spain, the first 8 provinces in the Philippine Revolution against the Spaniards.
Wow, that's just so beautiful, all the representation. So is there a national holiday that you guys have?
Well, we have one coming up. It's June 12th. It's Philippine Independence Day.
Oh.
We celebrate our independence from Spain because we were a Spanish colony for like 350 years. So we celebrate that every year, every June 12th. And of course, we're Catholic, so Christmas, big event in the Philippines. And we have a very popular event called the Sinulog Festival, which we do dances to the baby Jesus, who we call the Santo Niño.
Aw, and do you guys wear like beautiful gowns like what you're wearing right now?
Well, actually, the Sinulog is very colorful.
Uh-huh.
They have very traditional costumes, and some that are very indigenous as well.
Wow.
Yeah, they mix it all in.
And speaking of gowns, like I want to hear more about what your gown is about. You know, I see seashells, so beautiful. Does it represent something?
Thank you. Yeah, this gown was made by one of my favorite designers. His name is Junjun Cambe, very popular in the Philippines. He designs gowns for the senators and a lot of government officials, a lot of actresses. But I wanted a theme because I'm the president of the federation.
Right.
I wanted every gown to represent a bunch of my advocacies. So the first year I had a gown made for land, and he made me a gorgeous bamboo gown, which was very, very heavy. It was like, it weighed like 40 pounds. This is heavy too, and you can hear me coming a mile away.
Yeah.
And this represents the sea, which is, this is made of Philippine seashells, and he even made me the matching purse.
It's beautiful. And these are real seashells too.
Actually, a lot of when you go to hotels in the Philippines, you'll see the nice lamps made of capiz shells. This is what they are. And they're very delicate. And when I was like putting them on, I always try to be careful because if you step on one of them, it breaks. So it's hard to put it on.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
I need one of those.
You should have him make you one.
I should.
And then last year he made me one because I wanted something that represented the air. So he made me a gown of feathers.
Wow. I want to see those.
Yeah,
the bamboo
like
one
birds
and the
in
feather
flight.
ones. Yeah, that's
I
beautiful.
love that.
So speaking of like beautiful gowns, I want to one day go to the Philippines and get one.
You should.
Are there any like do's and don'ts when we go to the Philippines? Because I've never been there. So something you would like to tell myself and the audience?
I say for do's, I would say do try our food.
Oh, yes.
Because we love our food. And do travel to the islands because the islands are so beautiful. We have 7,640 islands.
Wow.
And every single one has a different delicacy, and it's just fun. And do interact with the people. The Filipinos are probably one of the friendliest, happiest, and most resilient people in the world. We can have catastrophes, we can have whatever, and they still maintain their positive attitude and their happiness. Even the poor people, they're always so happy. It's unbelievable.
That's really heartwarming to hear.
I love that country.
I can't wait to travel there and visit there. Now, you mentioned about food. Is there like a
Well, we
particular
didn't talk about don'ts.
Oh, the don'ts. That's very important.
I would say don't disrespect the people or the country, because respect is number one for the Filipinos. Don't disrespect our elders, because again, we respect them. Really, those are the only. Oh, don't show a lot of jewelry.
Why is that?
It's not too safe a city. So I wouldn't do it.
That's the same tip that my parents give me. They're like, don't wear any brand name stuff, when you go to Vietnam and travel, because it can be dangerous. You can be a target for a lot of people.
Yes.
And so, yeah.
Especially in the cities. In the provinces, you don't have to worry as much, but I think in the city you do.
You have to be careful.
Yes.
Okay, so now the most exciting part, right? The food. What is the number one food recommendation that you have?
Well, our national food is adobo. So have you ever tried adobo?
I think I've heard of it. I think I did try a few times because my best friend's Filipino, and so it's the caramelized pork, right? Is that?
Yes. Well, it's pork or chicken made with soy sauce and vinegar and lots of garlic, and some different regions have different twists to it. Some regions put egg in it. I don't really like that particular version of it. But for me, I think our national food should be sinigang. That's my favorite.
What is that?
It's a broth made with tamarind.
Oh.
And you can either put pork, or some people put fish, some people put shrimp, and it's full of vegetables, and it's so good for you.
My mouth is watering already. That sounds so good. But I think adobo Vietnamese culture has something similar, same as Chinese culture, like caramelized pork, and for us, we do have eggs in it. So I love it. It's like a.
What is it called?
It's like tikka.
Tikka.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a.
You should take me to try it sometime.
Yeah, I should. It's like a heartwarming food, So, last but not least, I'd like for you to talk about any upcoming events that you might have. I know you mentioned about the Independence Day. Is there anything else that you have coming up?
Actually, this Saturday and Sunday at the Holiday Inn at the Capitol, the Philippine Consulate General in Los Angeles, they're going to be in town. This is a community service that we do for the Filipinos. That way they don't have to travel to Los Angeles. So the Consul General and his staff will be here. They will be processing visas and passports and dual citizenships and documentations, whatever you need notarized. So they'll be here 2 full days from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. doing all of that.
Wow. And then for those who just moved to the area, if they want to get involved within your community, the Filipino community, is there a website or a page they could go to, a contact that they could contact and reach out?
They can go to our chamber website, which is www.fabccaz.com, or actually that's the one, and we could gear them to the other organizations that could help them get situated. Actually, I want to plug another event since I'm the president of the Federation of Filipino American Chambers of Commerce. We are having an international convention from July 22nd to the 26th in Guadalajara, Mexico. There will be several countries there. The Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, which is my counterpart in the Philippines, will be bringing their delegation. There'll be delegates from the UAE, there'll be delegates from Europe, and also delegates from South America.
Wow.
So we hope to see you there. It's in a 5-diamond resort in an island called Isla de Navidad, which will be fantastic. So if you guys have time, sign up, and there'll be business conferences. If you want to invest either in Mexico, the Philippines, or the United States, that's the place to be. And that's at the right time, at the right place.
Okay, so we would like to end by showcasing a special little dance video that you and your group, you were in the dance too, I believe, right?
Yeah, we have a Filipiniana dance group, and we perform during festivals.
Yeah, is there something that you would like for us to know about the dance group, different kind of culture or dance that you would like to showcase?
We do various dances. The particular one that you're going to show is, it's a harvest dance. It's a very fun dance, and it's got a little bit of Spanish origins to the dance, and it's usually danced in the provinces during the harvest season.
Wow. Well, I can't wait to see it. So
Thank
stay
you.
tuned. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Are you looking to furnish your new home or need to redesign your home office? Come to the Memorial Day sale at American Furniture Galleries. 20% off the entire showroom, 50% off all mattresses, and up to 75% off on clearance. Many in stock. Get a free gel pillow with the purchase of a mattress set. Free local delivery for men and women in uniform. Get 60 months for 0% interest. Come to American Furniture Galleries and see our amazing selection. We're located at 1980 North Alma School Road in Chandler, or visit us on the web at afg.us.com. Give us a call at 480-786-0777. Once again, that's 480-786-0777. See you there.